into Orem High School for KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 5A state tournament. We've got a second round matchup for you, the West Panthers and the Orem Tigers. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Thrilled to be joined by Jeff Hansen. Jeff, it's out of a studio, out at a high school on a Friday night. No better place to be.
No better place to be. This feels great. Look, I love the studio. I love that 68 degrees no matter what. Playoff football, though, that'll get me out of the studio, Dane. This feels great. Happy to be here with you.
Well, we got a great matchup tonight. You talk about two teams that really do have legitimate aspirations to get to Rice Eccles, even potentially a state championship in Orem and West. The West Panthers coming in off an impressive 68-14 win over Taylorsville. It was Isaiah Hawley having to play quarterback, but man, he was fantastic. Over 400 yards throwing in that game, had 7 touchdowns to help lead West here into the second round game.
Yeah, Isaiah Hawley, just a team guy. He was a leading receiver going into that game, says, hey, look, Camden Lopati's out. I need to play some quarterback. He does, and he does it at a very high level. That West offense did not skip a beat. Tougher test against Orem tonight.
Definitely tougher test. And you talk about the Orem Tigers. They got a receiver in their own right in Kawi Akana, but then they got Feliti Iongi out of the backfield, can also catch the football. This Orem offense has a lot of potency behind it.
Yeah, this Orem offense is fantastic. Akana's great. Iongi is fantastic. And then Riker Mickelson does a ton of things, kind of the glue guy of that offense.
We will call his name a lot offensively and defensively tonight as this kick fielded by one of the upbacks. West in the road, Whites, Orem in the home blue, and this kick is returned up that far line. Nice return by Tua One as West will come out starting just inside their own 40-yard line, but a penalty flag here on the field.
You know, it wouldn't be high school football without a quick penalty just to remind us all that there are rules that we need to follow.
Look, Jeff doesn't like it, but there are rules. There's boundaries, and there's things that we have to adhere to as we do have one here on this opening kickoff. And the holding will be called against West. This will back up the Panthers.
You know, I think this is a big drive for West. Set the tone early and establish that this offense, even with the backup quarterback, they could still move against this Orem defense. Look, Orem has struggled defensively at times this year. They've been hot and cold. The offense, they haven't had too many problems all year long. But West, this has the makings of a shootout, and I think West has a chance to make a statement with Hawley in this opening drive.
These are two offenses that have really shown that defenses, whichever defense can make some plays tonight, is going to give their team a huge advantage as West will run here on first down. There's not much there. Boy, how about somehow slithering through the line? Nice run there. I think, was that 22 or 32?
I think that was Vainuku.
Nope, that was 32. It was Sotele.
Well, and I guess we probably should have assumed that. He's only averaging 170 yards around on the.
They'll go right back here to Lote Sotele, and a nice run there. He'll pick up the first down. Want to remind you, the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we'll start it early, stop it late, that sort of thing. We'll do our best to keep it trued up to the clock here in the stadium.
You're seeing a lot of tempo early on from West. I like it. I like this strategy with this offense and all the weapons that they have.
Boy, and look at how they spread them out on that play. And so Telly that close to having a big run, tackled for a gain of only 1.
Sotele, the 6'1" senior running back, 170 yards on the ground per game this year. He has been phenomenal. A lot of receivers, a lot of passing attack for West, but Sotele has been the guy that consistently is able to move the chains.
And Louis Hamilton's been great out of the backfield as well. They'll engage him in the passing attack. He's lined up here in the slot. They've been in this 2-by-2 formation a lot on this opening drive. They've got a second down, and we'll call it a short 9. Edge pressure coming. They will throw here to Hamilton. Hamilton able to pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on the reception.
They didn't have any issues with it last week, but with Isaiah Hawley playing quarterback, he'd been a dynamic receiver. That's a weapon off the outside. I'm looking at a guy, number 10, Jackson Tuwala, or maybe Chachi Pan, number 2, to step up and fill the void that Hawley had filled all year long until last week.
I think Pan's got to be that guy. They have 3 receivers over 700 yards receiving each, and that was with a quarterback who threw for 3,000 yards. It's a lion's share of that passing attack. Someone, to your point, needs to step up as they do get this to that far side, and that was Tuwala. You just talked about him, Jeff. With a nice reception, he's got the first down.
Tuwala has all the talent to be very good. You saw the ball skills there after the catch. He evades a tackle, is able to move the chains. Big fan of Jackson Tuwala's game.
Yeah, a young man who just transferred into West this season, and he's been a great addition for this Panther bunch. As a first down here near midfield, West with a very methodical opening drive. as they'll try that left side, and not much there. This Orem defense, I know, talking with Moose Bingham, he loves big Maake Apo inside, the big 6'5" defensive lineman wearing number 50.
Yeah, he is a big, big boy. On that play, you saw Kawe Akana coming in from the safety spot. He's getting real close to that line of scrimmage. He was in on that tackle, and it looks like he's inside the box here as well.
They have been bringing a lot of pressure from those outside linebackers on this opening drive. We've got a 2nd and long here for the Panthers. And it will be Holly looking to throw, eyes down the field. Has a man that caught. And first down is it was Vailahi with the reception. And a first down West.
Well, there's another guy, Lava Vailahi. He's been the leading tackler on defense. Maybe that's a guy who steps in and helps fill that void at the receiver spot that's left by Holly moving over to quarterback. He looked great on that play.
Also one of their top interception guys. So, you talk about safeties, DBs don't have good hands. Well, he does.
He does.
First down again. Oh, boy. And this is going to be a West penalty. Saw Orem showing that pressure, and the receiver jumped. Not common you see that.
No, you gotta hold still. It's still a rule. You've got me adjusted, Dan. You're a big ref guy. Big fan of refs and
I'm
rules.
a huge ref guy. Let's be honest. They need friends too.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be one friend.
Yeah. When somebody's reaching out to grab a hand, it's usually a ref. And Dane is right there.
Oh, there's like 3 officials I talk to. And not that I don't like the others. It's just I only have relationships with a couple. So it's still a very early part of my career here. Nice move here. Holly trying to buy time. Now he's going to tuck it and run. This is a 1st and 15. He'll get back those penalty yards and a little extra. Nice run there by Isaiah Holly.
Now, Camden Lopati is certainly not a statue in the backfield for West when he is healthy and at quarterback. But this is an element that when you have that athletic wide receiver in Isaiah Holly, he's going to be able to evade pressure, get outside the pocket, and beat Orem with his legs.
I mean, this is pretty impressive when you look at it. You talk about Lopati. Threw for 3,000 yards. But he's got 69 rushes for 650 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And then you look at Holly. Again, he doesn't have the same number of snaps, so this is a smaller sample size. He's thrown for the 550. He's also ran for 450 yards on 46 touches. Now, a lot of those were, as a receiver in this offense, but to your point, very athletic. Because here's a little screen. This caught, turned upfield. Nice reception by Sotele as he takes this up gain of 9. It'll be 3rd and short here for West.
This feels like Sotele time on 3rd and short. He sets up the 3rd and short on that screenplay. Really well done. Orem recognized it, but just a good play by Isaiah Holly. Again, Holly, backup quarterback, hasn't played that position all year. Put a lot of touch on that screen pass with pressure in his face.
So 3rd and short. And to your point, Sotele in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, that's bottled up. What a job by that Orem front, Jeff. There was nowhere to go.
Man, number 50, that is a big boy. Maka Apo, holy moly. He blew that play up. It doesn't look like West even hesitated. They're not even considering kicking this, punting this, field goal, 4th and 1, they're going.
That's to be a 44-yard field goal. That's a good-sized field goal on a chilly night. The ball would carry, but
yeah,
they're going to go for it.
I go right back to Sotele.
Oh, they'll run Holly here. Gets the edge, and that's a big block by Sotele setting up that edge because Orem had a guy there, Jeff.
Yeah, they did. Sotele with the lead block, and Isaiah Holly does the rest. He hit the corner, and man, he turn upfield quickly. He got more than one, and now West knocking on the door of the end zone.
Huge 4th down conversion. And I love the play calling, the way West is mixing this up. Good usage of pass and run, save concepts, while also showing some aggressiveness in their play calling. First down, Sotele. And he's able to pick up hard-earned 2.5 yards there.
Man, Oppo, every single play, Oppo is taking up 2 or 3 blockers. He is a load in the middle of that defensive line.
Yeah, he was the guy. I did a West game earlier this year against Springville, and I was talking to Moose Bingham, and he's like, watch 50. He's awesome. And it probably wasn't Oppo's best game. He had a good game, but, man, he has made play after play here on this opening drive for this D. On 2nd down, Holly looking in the flat. That caught. Makes a man miss, turn it upfield, and down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal after the Tawala reception.
Jackson Tawala, he can do a lot of really good things after the catch. His natural ability to make guys miss and get upfield is special. It's why so many colleges are after him. He's had a great opening drive with a couple of catches here. He could have a big game in this one.
That clock continued to tick down. Been a 5-minute drive here for the Panthers. They'll hand off. Soteli looking left side. Boy, he got popped and then kept out of the end zone. What a job by that Orem D.
Yeah, that was a big stop. I'm trying to see a number. It looks like that was Mickelson on the stop for Orem. That was a big stop. I thought Soteli was in, and then here comes Mickelson out of the backfield. Boom.
It was Mickelson. You talked about him. He's one of their top tacklers. He's a physical presence for that Orem D. Where's number 4, the 6'2 senior? Second and goal here for the Panthers. Boy, look at how tight that offensive line is stacked up. They'll try the option again. Good chip again, and Hawley into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
Isaiah Hawley gets the credit. He uses his speed out of the backfield to get into the end zone, but that play was set up by Soteli. That lead block, the way that he sealed that edge defender coming off the edge for Orem, really opened things up and made it easy for Hawley to trot into the end zone. Big lead block. Big drive by West to open up this game.
Have to figure that's going to be an element that Orem D is going to come back and work on a little bit, because you've got that 4th down conversion and then a touchdown for West, both off that same play, that designed run.
Boy, West looked good on that drive, didn't they?
Looked really good on that drive. We thought this would be a high-scoring affair, and that West offense, opening drive at least, showing it may very well be so. Point after try. And this kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 your lead to the visiting West Panthers as you're watching the second round of the 5A playoffs live on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. 7-0 West, leading Orem. Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen with you. Jeff, pretty impressive drive for West. Now it's up to Orem to respond. If there's one thing we know about Orem, no deficit is safe from this Orem Tiger offense.
No, all year long they have found ways to come back from deficits. This offense can score. Faleti Iongi, man, it's going to start with number 1 on the kickoff here. He has been so good. Whoa.
And that was not intended for that, but Orem won't apologize. That's a good job. Colson Rich, the sophomore. You're not used to sophomores having to make big plays, but Rich does there, and Orem's going to have great field position.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. A little squib kick. He just steps right in front like a shortstop, takes the ground ball, and, hey, Orem is all of a sudden going to start right here at midfield.
You know, we like to make people upset.
Okay.
Yankees probably wishing they had a player who could do something like that.
That's true, yeah.
Of course, he didn't have to make a throw to third. But regardless.
I think he could have, the way he stepped in front of that.
First down Orem, opening drive, and a little screenplay here set up for Beck Coy. And boy, Beck took a hit, but we do have a penalty flag on the near side. I'm guessing this will be on the Tigers.
I believe that was Lester Falatea on the hit. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a flag. We'll see what the flag is. But Falatea coming from that safety spot, he popped that ball carrier.
Beck Coy, a 6'4 junior. He's the one who had the game-winning touchdown against that Springville team as an illegal shift here. And, interesting, West will decline it, so it'll be 2nd and 10 here.
That's an interesting decision. I don't know that it's wrong. I mean, now it's 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15. I guess when you have an offense like Orem has, if you're West, you're saying, no, give me the down. It's still 2nd and long.
Well, and a player like Faleti Iongi. We'll talk about Akana a lot tonight, but Iongi, get this. Running the ball, he averages 8.5 yards a touch. He's got 1,250 yards rushing. Receiving, he averages 15 yards a catch.
Oof.
Like, he is truly one of those special players in the state. They will run Faleti. He's looking for a lane, trying to get outside, and not much there. Great pursuit by that West D, led by Spencer Maffey.
Spencer Maffey, great pursuit. I mean, he really strung that play out. Iongi does what he does, and it looks like he's going to go into the pile. He bounces it back outside, but 34, Spencer Maffey, he's able to keep his eyes up, doesn't fall for it, and he's able to chase Iongi down as he's getting to the outside.
That's for me, it's like Orem can be so explosive offensively. You kind of take your chances. Let's give them less downs. I get it, but now you've got a 3rd and 10. This is a big play for this West defense, too. Big play for the Orem offense. Everyone tight here for the Tigers on this 3rd down. And running out of time. That ball's out. They ruled it down. Ooh, maybe fortunate. I I don't know if he was down, but the officials say he was. And so the West D gets that opening drive stop, Jeff.
I'm kicking myself, Dan. I wanted to highlight number 19, Takeshi Savory. He's just a freshman. He's got 11 sacks on the season.
That kid's a freshman?
He's a freshman. He's the biggest freshman you've ever seen. At least I believe he's listed, as a freshman.
Well, he's listed at 6'2", 233. Yeah, he's playing the near end.
He's a big boy. He's got 11 sacks on the year now, 12. He is fantastic.
Wow. High kick, kind of a sideways spiral, going to take a great Orem roll inside the 10 and further as the West offense will come out at their own 6, leading Orem 7-0 here in the second round of the 5A state playoffs.
What a punt.
That's a great punt, huh?
That's a great punt down at the 5.
All right, for those of you who have watched us on the Red Zone, you know I like to ask Jeff questions. So we got questions tonight. You ready for questions tonight?
I'm never ready for your questions, but I'll try.
We're going to try to have a little bit of fun with the questions tonight. Usually I'm kind of a serious guy, right? Like I'm kind of locked in.
Yeah, always.
Who do you think would win, a Panther or a Tiger?
Well,
I was thinking about this all week.
I think it's a Tiger. Tigers are huge.
Could it catch a Panther?
I think so. They're still quick. It's still a cat. But they are big. I think it's a Tiger. I'm going to think about this.
All right. We'll come back to that one. First down, staying on the ground. Pick up here about 2 yards on the carry.
This is a big drive for the Orem defense. After it was nearly 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
West marched down the field. They're feeling confident. Orem needs a confidence boost. They've got to find a way to get off the field quickly.
The winner of this would advance to a quarterfinal game, which could be against the Timpview T-Birds in what we called was it the region of death or the bracket of death? I don't remember. It was something that had to do with not good. What is good is Jackson Tuwala for West. He's got another reception for the Panthers, another first down.
Yeah, we talked about it. Somebody's got to step up, fill that void for Isaiah Hawley. Jackson Tuwala was a guy I thought could so far. That's his third catch on the night. I think every one of them has moved the chains.
This gets them away from the end zone a little bit, out to the 20-yard line. Hawley looking really good here early. He'll come near side. This is Pan. Pan gets a block and then is out of bounds, but you're going to see that flag. Look, you want to dog officials? How about the arm of that back judge? That thing was beautifully thrown.
There's no dog in that official. That came from 40 yards out back and all the way right at the spot, too. Mm-hmm. That is one thing refs don't get enough credit for. The way they can pinpoint those flags. They don't just toss the flag out. They throw it exactly where they want to.
I'll tell you, I don't think you'd want to take an official on in darts because you're right.
It's pinpoint. Yeah. It's impressive.
Penalty was a hold on the Panthers, so that will back them up. It'll be 1st and 19 here for West. And this will be a chance to really test Hawley and this West offense. Hawley going to tuck this and run. Has a great block up the middle and then wisely will slide. That's a great call and great execution there by Isaiah Hawley.
Yeah, and a great blocking up front. This West offensive line doesn't get the credit that they deserve. There's a lot of Division I talent across the entire offensive line. They really are flexing their muscles in the early going here.
They got D1 kids up front, including Lapuaho. Big on this kid, largely because he's committed to one of my alma mater. So, boom. 3 to go here in the opening quarter. Hawley running out of time, going to tuck this again. And, Jeff, you talked about you've got a receiver back there not afraid of running and getting whatever he can because that's how he's played all year.
Yeah, he's not afraid of contact. He looks like a seasoned quarterback, though. He didn't look like a receiver. He's sliding down and avoiding the hit. That was excellent.
And the thing you got to love is that he's not forcing anything. It's like, look, if I don't feel confident enough in me making the throw, great, I'll tuck it and run.
Yeah.
3rd and short here for West.
Big down.
They had 1st and 19, a couple of Hawley runs. Orem, the students showed out in their ski gear. Trying to help cheer on a stop from this defense in this first quarter. Hawley over the middle, nearly intercepted. Boy, that was the first real dangerous throw, and Vea nearly had the pick for Orem.
Yeah, Zeki Vea, he's been great all season long, nearly has the pick, and he had a lot of green in front of him. I think that's why he didn't pull in the interception. He saw end zone if he pulls that one in.
He is their top tackler on the year, number 2 for Orem, and yeah, that one was awfully close. And that is really probably the first throw for Holly where it's like, ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Big play by that Orem defense because Holly did have a guy. If he's able to get past by I think the West is running for a long time.
4th down. And that one nearly blocked. Boy, great pursuit by Mickelson. As this punt rolling inside the 30 to the 25. So good punt there for West as the Orem offense gets ready to come back out.
Big stop by the Orem defense, really exactly what they needed. They not only get off the field, but they get off the field quickly. Let the offense try to find some confidence because the way that West moved the ball and the way that they're capable of moving the ball, this Orem offense is going to have to be confident. They're going to have to put up some points.
Well, I think the other thing, if you're on that West side line too, is, guys, we had 1st and 19 and we got to 4th and 2.
Yeah.
Like to your point, like they can pick up yards. ORMD's got to fine-tune some things here defensively, but it'd help if their offense could get some points on this drive. They'll go on the ground here, 1st down. Nice run, gain of 2, maybe 3. They're on the carry for Iongi.
See what Orem's trying to do. They're trying to get Iongi going, and we've seen it all year long from this Orem Tiger offense. When Iongi goes, everybody goes, and he really is the engine that makes things happen. I'm anxious to see if they try to get big Kai Wesley or Kawe Akana involved here. Haven't seen a whole lot in the passing game yet.
I just had really the one opportunity on that opening drive, a little pre-snap motion, and this is kept, and Kaava with all sorts of room. Great run there for Kaava. Look, we don't talk about his running game a lot because they really use him through the air more, but showing he does have some movement.
Yeah, Taden Kava is one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Utah. He's really raw still learning the position, but he's a really good athlete. He's really efficient with the ball, and you see him make good decisions. Even on that read option there, that was a late pull from Kava, but he saw the lane, pulled it, made a good choice, picked up a 1st down.
6'4", 200-pound junior, 66% completion percentage this year, 25 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions for Kaava in his junior campaign. Same pre-snap movement. Looking over the middle for Iongi. That caught, and Folletti inside the 30 to the 20. 1st down, Orem.
And there he is. When he gets going, this whole Orem offense gets going. Folletti Iongi, one of the most impactful and effective players in the state of Utah. You mentioned it earlier, Dane. He's a running back. We know about his rushing skills, but you see it in the passing game as well.
There was a flag on the field. It's a sideline warning on West, so 1st down, Orem, and that was when you kind of knew the way Iongi came out of the backfield was like, oh, this is going right to number 1.
He's such a tough matchup out of the slot. It's really hard for any defensive back, and if he gets a linebacker on him, good night.
Yep.
He's very good.
Tough cover. 1st down for Orem. First time they're in West territory, and they're right on the edge of the red zone. That's Iongi in motion, come across the formation, over the middle. No, looking for the end zone, and that is overthrown. Intended target for Orem.
You saw that one pre-snap. You saw Kava talking with Akana there. They recognized one-on-one coverage. I haven't seen really anybody go one-on-one with Akana on the outside. Love the call to the hot route. Try to take a shot. Just didn't work out.
Most of the time you see 2-on-1, and usually it doesn't bode well for the 2. That's the kind of receiver that Akana has been this year. 6'3", 200-pound junior, wearing number 13. He'll line up top of the screen here on this 2nd and 10 play. And we get someone to jump.
Yeah. The classic defensive false start. A high school staple, thinking of our guy Dusty Lidster today, was his favorite penalty. It's fitting that we get to talk about it now. It wasn't his favorite penalty. He hated that penalty.
He hates that penalty.
He hates it so much.
I don't know if he hates that more or if he hates the automatic touchback more. It's close. It's like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Dusty, thinking of you. Can't wait to get him back. Is on the carry here. Nice run up the middle. Graver still moving and into the end zone. Touchdown, Orem.
What a run. Zach Graver takes on contact, just keeps moving. You talk about Mickelson, you talk about Iyangi, but there's Zach Graver. Got to pay attention to him, too. That's a 20-yard touchdown run for the senior.
And that was one that it looked like it was going to be a gain of 4 or 5, but he just kept those legs churning, man. No give up.
Yeah, that was a really impressive run by Graver. That's a guy I'm going to circle here on the call sheet. You have a run like that, you're getting the ball again later.
I think Jeff Hansen's going to talk about Graver as the night proceeds. 6'3" senior. Not a guy that was on my radar coming into tonight, but is on it quickly as the point after up and good. We're tied up 7 apiece. Orem West near the end of the first. You're watching the second round of the 5A playoffs on KSL Sports. Back 7 apiece, West and Orem. A big West drive or a big Orem drive there to get it all tied up, and look, it's that reception by Iyangi that was really the crux of that drive.
Yeah, that got everything set up. Iyangi, he's done that all year, set up this Orem offense. That's a big response. They needed that before the end of the quarter. Now we get to see Akana, the kicker. We've got Jerome Miles at corner before his injury.
Yep.
Also kicks.
Yep.
And Kawe Akana here. Apparently, if you're an elite wide receiver, you also kick. Honestly, up until this year, I can't remember seeing that.
You know, I'm really glad that you didn't phrase that as a question, Jeff, because it would show my ignorance. So I'll just sit here and be like,
Yeah.
You're right. No, that's a great point. I'm trying to think too, and I don't know that I can think of a case.
I don't think that there is.
We'd
have to ask
let me
Moose.
restate. I think in some of the lower classifications you may see that,
Sure,
right?
sure.
But yeah, when you think about 6A, 5A, I don't know that that's real common.
No, I don't think so. Here I am talking about kickers.
Moose will be proud.
And Moose isn't here.
Moose will be proud. I'll text him tonight and be like, hey, you missed it. Jeff was being complimentary to kickers.
Well,
now, granted, only wide receiver kickers, but kickers nonetheless.
And the way I see it, that when I finally need that kicker in Moose to really bail us out and answer the question, he's nowhere to be found. Once again, Moose the kicker letting me down.
I'll give him the feedback. I'll be like, man, Moose, you really messed up tonight. I know we had you on the game, but that's no excuse. His kickoff in the air, fielded back at the 9. Looking up that left side, a burst here from Vailahi, brought down at the 30. Nice return.
Lava Vailahi, he has a lot of burst. Love him in the kick return game. His vision is excellent, and he gets to his top speed really quickly. First quarter is cruising right along, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we're a 30-minute quarter. That's not terrible.
I guess it is 30 minutes. It felt faster than that.
It did.
Time flies when you're having fun. Isn't that what they say?
That's what they say.
Somebody says.
Another keep here by Holly. He's being tracked in the backfield. Boy, that's great pursuit there by A.J. Snow. The senior was having none of it. And with that, the first quarter will come to a close.
When I saw the stats, Dan, real quick before the end of the quarter, I saw A.J. Snow. I did a double take. They have him with 41 quarterback hurries on the year. He's everywhere, and you can see him. He gets into the backfield for a TFL on that play. A.J. Snow has been fantastic.
He was great there. It'll set up a second long to start the second quarter. When we come back, you're watching the second round of the 5A playoffs live on KSLSports.com. Start of the second quarter. West looking at a 2nd and 13. Dean Stewart, Jeff Hansen with you. Great night for football, especially when you're sitting inside the press box. No. Little throwback here. Wide open as Sotele makes the catch, but a penalty flag here in on the play. I have a feeling this one's going to come back, Jeff.
I think there may have been an offensive lineman that snuck downfield on the play action. Looks like that's going to back this one up.
Yeah, what is it? 3 yards in high school, I think?
I think so, in high school, yeah.
They were probably a good 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I love the play call, though.
Yeah.
It was wide open.
It was wide open. So Tele, he ran the route well, sold the play action really well. It was there. Look, so far, it's been penalties. That's really been the biggest reason when West is behind the chains. Let's see if Orem's defense can capitalize. They did on 1st and 19 last drive. That set up the Orem defense getting off the field. Here they are again.
Yeah, that can be such a killer. As Holly stepping up, looking, has a man, but overthrew the intended target. That was Pan. He was open, Jeff.
He was open. Just a little bit of an overthrow from Hawley. Orem brought the pressure on defense. Kawe Akana came in. There were a couple of linebackers coming in on a blitz. Now it's an obvious passing situation. West has shown that they're comfortable in the screen game. Maybe that's the call here. But I would expect West to try to get after Hawley, not let him break things down and pick up this first down on a broken play.
3rd and 17. Hawley, good pocket, looking for Sotelo and overthrew him. And that bounce we saw early, Jeff, you see the impact a penalty has. No balance, and it's West on to punt here again.
Yeah, and it started on first down with A.J. Snow. He had the big TFL, and then a penalty gets them even further behind the chains. And then from there, Orem's able to pin their ears back. I'm curious, Dane, in this punting game, Orem got close to blocking the punt last time. It looks like, the snap from the center, the long snap, looks like it's a little bit slow. Looks like Orem's going to have an opportunity to block a punt in this one if they want to keep sending pressure.
Well, and even if they don't, they got Iyangi standing at his own 42. So, another flag coming on here. We'll update you with some scores in the 5A playoffs. How about this? Maple Mountain leading Northridge 17-14 in the third quarter. Olympus all over Woods Cross 42-7 in the third quarter. Viewmont leading East 10-7 in the third, and Bountiful leading out to 28-14 at the break.
Disconcerting act defense, 5-yard penalty. Still
The ever popular disconcerting act. Got to watch out for those.
Yeah, that's those are ones that I always feel like are a tad, I don't want to say controversial.
A little ticky-tack to me.
This kick away, that was Pan on it. Iyangi picking up off the bounce. Folletti, boy, you kind of knew if he got to that left side, might be trouble. Approaching midfield, and he'll be out of bounds, but great field position here for Orem again in West Territory to start this drive.
Even as a punt returner, you can see the balance that Iyangi has when he runs, when he's got the ball in his hand, the way that he absorbs contact, is able to keep his feet, keep going, and get back to his top speed quickly. It is special. I don't know what more he has to do to show college coaches that he can be a college football player. He's been great for 3 years. He has been fantastic for Orem.
Well, here's the thing that just gets me. People want to say he's undersized. Okay, he's 5'10". I could give you a handful of players that are 5'10" that are successful at the next level. It's like, that is not a disqualifier.
No, especially at the running back spot.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to be, 6'6", 300 to play running back.
Yeah, I have feelings, but no one listens. Kava and this Orem offense starting in West Territory. A little pre-snap here again. They will go on the ground, trying to get around the edges, Bills, and he will not. He'll lose a yard on the run.
Yeah, once again, really strung out really well by that West defense. Really impressed with the pursuit and the discipline from these linebackers. They don't fall for the eye candy. They stay in their lanes. They've played that read option play really well tonight.
We have an official timeout.
They did. Oh, we've got an injury here on the field. A West injury. We will step aside here as they come out and have a look. We'll be back. 2nd and 11 here for the Tigers. Kava, man in his face, looking out for Iyangi. That caught a big hit laid by Pan, but Iyangi with the reception and a first down for Orem.
Man, Iyangi.
Oh, and a flag in the backfield here. Kava just working up.
Oh. A roughing? Is that what we're going to get
I don't
here?
know, everyone's coming back. Is this going to be a hold? Kava's still kind of holding his lower back.
roughing the passer, 54 defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I thought it was probably going to be a roughing, Jeff, but what surprised me was everyone was coming back for Orem, and I was kind of confused there.
A little confusing. Now you got the long walk to get onto the ball. But how about that pass play? I mean, Kava hangs in there under pressure, delivers a really nice ball to Iyangi, and he comes up, makes a great play with his own pressure. He took a big hit as soon as he came down with it.
He popped up, though, and he was like, hey, let's go. Huh?
He talked that talk a little bit, didn't he?
First and 10, Orem at the 21. Good looking throw, and this is going to be another first down for Orem. Was that Akana on the reception? Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the arm strength from Kava there. He's got a big arm. When he's able to set his feet, has a clean pocket, he can deliver absolute darts.
We've got a West Panther here who's down. That might have been the player who made the tackle. We've got another injury timeout here. We will step aside and be back here on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Back, it was Isaiah Engelau who was the injured West Panther. We were able to get up, walk off under his own power. Hope he'll be okay. It is a first and goal here for Orem.
They love looking at Akana in these short yardage situations here near the goal line.
I love Wesley in these situations. They're looking for your guy, Akana. Broken up. That's a great play in the end zone there by Tua One.
Yeah, great play by Tua One. Akana has the size advantage. I think Kava put up a really good ball, gave his guy a chance. Just a really, really good defensive play by Tua One.
Second and goal.
I'm with you, Dan. This is where I would like to see Kai Wesley get involved. I mean, he's a huge tight end. He's got that basketball background. He could certainly go up and get, high point of football. We've seen him here before in the red zone.
Yep.
He's going to have a size advantage.
Wearing number 5, he's in the slot at the bottom of the screen. 6'7", 225. They'll go on the ground. Iongi looking left side, and Iongi going to be brought down after a successful run of about 6 or 7 there on the play.
Yeah, a little counter play from Iongi. They look at the cutback lane. Excellent vision. And once again, his ability to continue to move after contact is special.
We'll set up a third and goal here inside the 5. And this is one where you have a lot of options if you're Orem with their ability to run the football and with all the targets they have. What would you look for here, Jeff?
Well, I'm watching Kava get the play call in from the coaching
right next
staff,
to
and Akana's there looking with him. I have a hunch this one might be going to Akana.
Third and goal here from the 4. That's Iongi in motion. Over the middle, looking for Wesley. That one was too tall. Pan there in coverage. But we do have a penalty flag here near side, and this looks to be an illegal shift.
I think you've got...
What do you do here?
Well, is it a false start or is it an illegal shift?
I think I saw illegal shift.
Illegal shift. Number 13, 2-man in motion. Penalty decline. 4th down.
I didn't see the second motion.
I didn't either. Initially I saw the ref signal false start, and but I think you go for it again if you're Orem. Look, if you don't get it, West is pinned back really deep. The defense has been playing well the last couple of drives, and you got a chance to go up by 7.
I'm just going to start calling you Jeff the OC Hansen. Here we go. You're right. 4th and goal, offense on the field. Kava in the shotgun. Orem looking for the lead. That batted at the line of scrimmage, and the West Panther defense gets the stop, and that was via Ikakola. And now late penalty flags coming in here.
Yeah, great play by Ika Kaula. He's a Stanford commit, an offensive line. I mean, he's an absolute beast on the offensive line. Comes up with a huge play as a defensive lineman to keep Orem off the scoreboard.
I think this is going to be unsportsmanlike would be my guess. I just don't know which way this is going to go. If it's West, boy, you're going to hate to have to eat this one.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 21. That's his first of the game.
So it's going to back you up. Instead of having all that room at the 4, now you're going to be at the 2.
Yeah. If you're going to pick up a 15-yarder, that's the time to do it. If you're going to get unsportsmanlike, get it there.
I don't disagree, but we have seen the last 2 drives, Orem has made plays in the backfield. You want more room here.
That's true.
With how this Orem defense is starting to be so aggressive defensively.
Yeah, you've got A.J. Snow licking his chops right here and an opportunity to pick up a safety. We've seen him, obviously, in the passing game. He's able to get after the quarterback. But we've seen him play in the run game, get back for TFLs as well. Number 10, a player to watch on this play.
So West taking over after they get the defensive stop at their own 2. 1st and 10 Panthers. And they will run it here. Nice move. Well, nice run there. It'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, if you're West, we saw it in the opening drive, and then they've kind of gotten away from it as they've been behind the chains. That offensive line is really good.
Yeah.
Rely on that offensive line. You've got Sotele, who's been fantastic all season long out of the backfield.
Well, the other thing, too, is if you can chew up the next 8.5 minutes with that run game, right, could be a big advantage. As Orem will get the ball to start the second half. We still got many minutes, but again, they had a 6-minute opening drive, the Panthers did. And you see them taking this down, play clock inside of 5 when Hawley took the snap. Oh, Hawley turning upfield. He's got the first down there for the Panthers.
Yeah, and 2 plays into this drive feels a lot more like that opening drive of let's get outside, let's use the quarterback run game, let Sotele do his thing, get that offensive line going. Look, the Orem defensive line is big. They're very good. But if you got 3 D1 guys on your offensive line, you're going to feel like you have an advantage over everybody you play.
Well, and it goes back to, on this drive, someone knock on wood, they haven't had the penalties early, right? I mean, the penalties, the negative yards, that's what we said the last couple of drives off schedule early, as Hawley now with a little bit of time looking downfield, and Pan was open, but that one in the dirt, incomplete, will be a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, A.J. Snow did a really good job staying disciplined, kept his eyes on the quarterback, and as Hawley escaped out of the pocket, there was a lot of green, but there was A.J. Snow right in front of him, able to force the throw. Really, Hawley just throwing that one away.
So 2nd down here for the Panthers. We've got timeout here going to be taken by West. 7:40 to go here in the first half. You're watching second round on KSLSports.com. 2nd and 10 out of the West timeout. This will really tell you how much they believe in that run game, right?
Yeah.
They believe. That West defense, they've had a couple really big stops right near the line of scrimmage. They get another one here.
Yeah, kind of a slow developing run play there, and really gave guys like Akana a chance to get in off the edge. That big defensive line, Oppo, did a really good job. And here we are. It's 3rd and long again. Feels like West has to put it in the air. And guys like Snow and Akana off the edge, they're going to pin their ears back, and this is tough. This is a tough situation for West to be in.
Very tough situation. 3rd and 9. Hawley. Good pocket. Looking deep. Has a man. That's caught. Across midfield on the reception. It's Vailahi. And how about that offensive line, Jeff? Given the time for Hawley to step up and make that throw.
Gave Hawley just enough time. Akana was coming off the edge. But Hawley's able to deliver a good throw. And what a good throw. It's time we stop calling him a receiver playing quarterback. You make a throw like that, you're a quarterback playing quarterback.
There's double coverage there.
Yeah.
And he's able to throw his man open. First down for the Panthers. Across midfield, designed run. Hawley looking right side. You see him kind of feeling that line. He'll turn up and pick up 6.
Now, anxious to see, does West go back to the tempo? We saw that in that opening drive, that when things got going and they were picking up 5-6 yards per play, they moved quick.
We've got another whistle here. We've got an injured player here for Orem. And that looks like that might be Vea. He's up, trying to get his way to the sideline, but we've got a timeout here. So we'll circle back to our question, giving you some time to think about it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Tiger versus Panther. What
Yeah,
do you think?
I think I'm still going Tiger.
Okay.
Like, if you think about, what is his name? Shere Khan? Jungle Book, is that his name?
Probably.
I think so.
Probably.
He's a big guy. I mean, that's a big cat. Their paws are big, those Bengal tigers. And, I mean, an element here, Orem is technically, Dane, they're the golden tigers, so that's a special kind of tiger. I think I'm going Tiger.
Okay. I'm still feeling like a Panther might be quicker. But, look, we'll come back to that. There's plenty of timeouts left to have this conversation. 2nd and short. And there's a run. Nice hole, first down for West on the carry there from Sotele.
Yeah, when West plays with tempo, I think they're going to move quick. That's when this offensive line really starts to cook and that running game is able to get going.
First down. Sotele again with the carry. Snow right there. Not much room to go.
Man, Snow has been great, but there he is again. Make Oppo. It seems like every play he's involved. He's just eating up blockers.
For a gain for Stupele. Second down.
Second and 9. Hawley. Intended. Therefore,
I think that was Tuwala on the
I
outside.
couldn't tell if it was or not, but too tall, incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like it was Tuwala. Really great comeback route. He had space. Throw just a little too high. And here we are again, Dane. It's 3rd and long for West. They had the big hitter on the last 3rd and long. I believe that was a 3rd and 9. Now it's a 3rd and 8 for West. And they're going to take some time to think about it.
Probably a good call. So we'll go back to the question of the night. For me, it was all about the size or the speed of a Panther. But let me introduce something because I just asked the Google.
Okay,
right?
yeah, smart.
It was pretty emphatic that a Tiger wins, but it did introduce an interesting element, and that was that
Let's learn about this new element to say why I'm right.
a Panther can climb a tree.
Can a tiger not?
I don't know. Have you ever seen a tiger climb a tree? I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever seen a wild tiger anywhere. Have you ever seen a panther?
So the answer is
climb a
no.
tree?
You've never seen a tiger climb a tree, Jeff.
That's true.
Man, he just complicates every question I ask him. So the old Al Gore and his beautiful creation says it's a tiger. So there you go.
Yeah, it makes sense. A listener, he wanted to back me up.
Okay.
And he gave me all of the reasons why a tiger's going to win. Bite force, skill, and tactics. Got a whole thing.
Hey, you know what? We appreciate the help because that's
especially when I'm right.
Look, this is broadcasting gold right here. 3rd and 9 for West. Hawley, pressure coming. And we'll just float this. Ooh. That was Iongi who nearly had the interception. Boy, Hawley's fortunate he didn't get sacked for a loss on that one.
Yeah, that was close. He's lucky he didn't throw an interception. That was a I think Pro Football Focus, they would call that a turnover-worthy play. It wasn't a turnover.
I don't pay attention to PFF.
I just had to give him credit for turnover-worthy play. It's a good phrase.
We won't go into that. We'll talk about that on a halftime when our mics are muted.
Yeah,
4th and 9, and West, the offense staying on the field here, Jeff.
I like it. Be aggressive.
Hawley rolling to his left, now looking back. Boy, good covers. There's just nowhere to go. Hawley trying to make something happen. He's got to get to the 16-yard line. Hawley, I think he might be a half yard short. He gets out of bounds, but it's all going to depend on the mark. Had to get to the 16, and it's at the 17. So the Orem D gets the stop. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was able to run him out of bounds, but I'm going to give that stop. Kaue Akana on the backside, the wheel route is what West wanted to do. They were trying to set up Sotele on that far side, and Akana read it incredibly well. Totally took that away from Hawley, and from there the play broke down, and Hawley had to do it on his own.
And give a credit to that Orem D because it looked like that was going to be there. I thought Hawley was going to get it, and great job tracking him down. So Orem taking over at their own 17-yard line. Little option. They'll pitch this out. Turning upfield. Good run. Gain of about 6 there. Was that Curtis, I believe?
Yeah, Beckham Curtis. A lot of different running backs getting involved for Orem.
Flag here. This looks to be a hold on the Tigers.
Holding.
Yeah,
75 on the offense.
man.
Half the distance from the spot of the flag. First down.
That's the freshman Noah Seufale. I think he, if I remember right, picked up his first Division I offer this week. A big offensive lineman, flag for the hold there. Super bright future ahead for him.
What is with the freshman tonight? See Ufale, 6'4", 290 as a freshman.
There's something in the water here. Wow. There's no question about it.
My goodness. But yeah, that's a half the distance from the spot of the foul. So this has them back inside the 10.
Well, maybe. We got a little reffing from the refs. They're thinking about it.
They're just getting a line, Jeff.
They moved that ball 6 inches. That was good.
Hey,
we got it right.
You know what they say? It's all about getting it right. Kaava, little screenplay set up. Here is Curtis. Oh, good tackle. That's great pursuit there by Angelau. Remember, he left the game just a moment ago with the injury. Back on and makes a nice stop there.
Yeah, good to see Isaiah Angelau back on the field, makes a big tackle. If he doesn't make that play, the blockers that were out in front of Curtis, there were a lot of them, a fleet of blockers out in front of Curtis.
You would see how well a Tiger runs if he was
Yes.
not there. 2nd and 13. Play clock inside 10. Orem's got to hurry here. I don't know if they'll be able to get this one off. Down to 3. They got to take a timeout.
Timeout on the field. This timeout taken by the
Timeout,
Panthers.
Orem.
Their first timeout.
3:30 to go here in the first half. We'll be back. 2nd and 13 out of this Orem timeout. Oh, little trickeration here. Iongi looking on the reverse, and that's a big stop made as Iongi was just getting ahead of steam. And was that Mafi coming up with the stop?
Spencer Mafi, that's the second or third time we've called his name. That was a huge tackle to keep this in a 3rd and long, a 3rd and call it 8 yards for Orem. Iongi had a full head of steam.
Yes,
he
he
could have
did.
gone for a long ways.
I love that play call for Orem.
Yeah.
3rd down. Kaava. Time looking. Has a man that's deflected late. Boy, that's a big deflection from Falatea, another freshman.
Yeah, huge play. Jackson Sanders, you could see Kava. He knew that play was open. There was going to be a guy, but that window closed really quickly. Great play by Falatea. And here, under 3 minutes, West is going to get a chance to put points on the board before the half.
Yeah, that is huge. The West offense will get another opportunity. How about this? We both said coming in we thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, Jeff. We're 7 apiece.
Yeah, defense.
Is this fair caught at the 46? Good field position here for the Panthers.
Yeah, really curious to see how West plays this with 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock. I think if Lopati was here, you would look for that quick home run. Hawley, while he's played great at the quarterback spot, I'm curious if they try to get that quarterback run game going. Maybe they lean on Sotele to try to find something and drain the clock a little bit before trying to find the end zone.
We actually haven't seen a lot of wide receiver screens tonight from West.
No, and that's kind of a staple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't called Chachi Pan's name a whole lot yet.
You're right. This will be a direct snap here to Sotele. Looking right side, turns up. Penalty flag here coming in behind the run.
I think they're going to get Orem for a face mask and tack on 15 more yards.
That's what people in the press box were thinking. But West appears to be going the other way.
Oh.
On the offense, 10 yards from the spot of foul. Still first down.
Yeah, there's a room in the press box that disagrees.
They are upset. Well, and I've learned my lesson.
What's that?
Don't listen to the other room in the press box. I was glad you gave me that escape hatch. That wasn't my prediction.
Hey, I got your back,
I
Jeff.
appreciate that.
That's how we've grown. You know, week 1 I would have sold you out.
Yeah, you
But-
would have
But
for
here
sure.
I'm just like, I got it. I got it. So 1st and 15. Again, that's a spot penalty if it's ahead of the play. That one's complex. Oh, how about this run from Sotele, nearly able to break it.
Man, so Taylor, he runs so hard. Oh, and there's a
Yeah,
couple of Orem Tigers.
This one
down.
doesn't look great an injury for Orem. The trainer's running out. We'll step aside here. Timeout for an injured player. Injured player was Calvin Gardner. Was helped off. They'll look at him on the table. It's a second down here for West, staying on the ground. Sotele, and look, we've not seen a lot of chunk plays from West. They've got a couple real nice runs here late in this half, Jeff.
Yeah, when they let Sotele get going with that full head of steam, I mean, that's one cut and get upfield. He's been really good.
That was another first down for West. As inside of 2 minutes here in the stadium, our clock's a little behind. We'll get that caught up as the run here from Sotele ahead for a gain of 4, maybe 5.
I think this is right where West wants to be. You're going to have second and call it 5 yards. The whole playbook is available to you. They may try to find the end zone on this play for a home run play.
They just have one timeout left. Here's a screen. And going to be just short of that first down. It was Vailahi with the reception.
We've seen a lot of Vailahi as a receiver in this game. I think he's filling that Holly void.
So 3rd and 1 here for West. Only one timeout left.
Definitely 4-down territory for West.
Orem showing pressure. They'll come around the edge, but West running the other way. Holly's got the first down. 1:05 left.
Now, if I remember right, Dane, I think West only has, the one timeout available to them. And are they taking it here? Is there...
I don't see an injury yet, but I don't know if it's an official stoppage because there's kind of a group.
Well, they're sending everybody to the sideline. Not sure why.
Yeah, some stoppages actually picked up the ball. I'm super confused.
I am very, very confused.
And now they're calling them all
the
back.
teams back. Just send them away. Quick sweep of the
No,
court.
they're actually having a coaches conversation here. So might be some activity going on that just want to get things squared away. Jeff, do you want to provide insight? You were telling me some of the insight that was added in our question of the night. Educate me.
Yeah, I mean, if we really break it down and we start thinking about this Tiger versus Panther battle, size and strength, that's a big deal, right? A Tiger can get up to 660 pounds, Dane.
Okay, that's pretty big.
A Panther caps out at about 210.
Oh, well,
So your speed...
enough said.
I mean, come on. And then if you get a little bit further, a Jaguar might have more bite force than
We're
a
not
Tiger.
talking West Jordan.
But we're not talking Jaguars. We're talking Panthers. The bite force of a Tiger, I mean, it can crush a skull. A Panther, no, it can't. So you're 0 for 2. I'm thinking it might be a Panther here. Now, if you break down the skills and tactics of each of these two cats, both cats are skilled hunters with strong survival instincts. And Panthers are more agile and stealthy, but Tigers are built for powerful, close combat engagements. That's really what's going to separate them
During the play,
in this fight.
we have a sportsmanship warning.
Yeah, there you go. Sportsmanship warning was it. Figured that there was probably some chatter
Some
of some
words may have
sort.
been
But
said, yeah.
look, was there anything that had to do with trees?
It's a good question.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. All right. So in nature, Tigers win. On a football field,
We'll
it's
see.
7 apiece. We don't know the answer yet.
We'll see.
1:05 to go. And look, that's a free timeout, essentially.
Yeah.
First down, Panthers. Again, direct snap to Sotele, running right up the middle. And kind of stood up there after a gain of just 2 or 3.
Well, it's kind of interesting here. We haven't seen a whole lot of appetite from West to kick.
That clock's running.
And that clock is running, and they continue to rely on the run game with just that one timeout. The time is burning.
2nd and 7. Hawley. He's got some room. Flag in on the play. Hawley turning upfield. Isaiah Hawley down inside the 15, trying to stretch this wide, looking for that boundary. He'll get out of bounds. But again, a flag back at the line of scrimmage. We'll have to...
Yeah, those linemen had to block for a long time. This is in the area of holding.
Yeah, right near the far 30-yard line marker. procedure.
Formation 53 on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
All right, look, there's no way a future Sun Devil would ever do that.
No.
I'll stand up for Lapuaho on that one.
Yeah. Your ref friendship just found its boundary right there.
I have my limits.
Yeah.
So, they're saying that tackle wasn't on the line of scrimmage.
And that's tough. I mean, it's so much time came off the clock. Now just 23 seconds left, and West has 35 yards to go.
And now you really do probably have to air this thing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Play clock down to 10. Hawley. Looking. Not a lot of options. He's going to come back near side. This clock down to 15. Hawley, again, looking for that boundary. Will get out at the 25-yard line with 11 seconds to go. He picks up 9 yards.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Orem defense right now, you're calling that a win.
Yes.
You're down to 11 seconds, sets up a 3rd and 9.
But here's the thing. If you're West, you do have a timeout left, right? So whole field's available. But their receivers haven't been able to get really any separation down the field, Jeff, except for like 2 plays.
Yeah, it's been tough. A name that we don't talk about a ton for this Orem defense because he just locks down one side of the field is Will Rasmussen at corner. Number 0 just shuts things down on his side.
See, and I love the number 0 for a DB. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting nothing on me.
Right.
Play clock inside of 5. Hawley, pressure coming, and he goes down. West takes a timeout here with 5 seconds left, but finally that Orem pass rush, and it was Akana gets home.
Yeah, Orem has been close, it seems like, all night long. They finally get home and could not have picked a bigger moment. Now just 5 seconds left. Look, I think West is outside of their field goal range.
Yep.
This would be a 47-yard field goal. This isn't college or the NFL. That's a long field goal for a high school kid. So really you're kind of setting up that Hail Mary type play here to get into the end zone.
Unless you got Dylan Curtis at Murray.
Right. Yeah,
There's really only one play here.
Dylan Curtis, he can kick it from the logo. Everybody else.
Beyond. I mean, 63-yarder this year.
Wow.
State record.
He's been special. He's been special.
It's not rare I get Jeff to talk about kickers, but I got it twice in one night.
Yeah, it is. Well, you bring up Dylan Curtis. That feels like a cheat code. Like I'm no longer talking about kickers. I'm talking about Army All-Americans, and that's something I'm very comfortable talking about.
Well, I have to find my ways, Jeff.
Yeah, well done.
One score we did not update you on earlier, but we will do so right now. Brighton leading Wasatch 13-0 at the break. Wow. And then we did mention the winner of this has the potential of playing Timpview, but that's only if Timpview can hold on to a 49-24 lead, that game in the third quarter. 4th down here for West, probably last play of the half. Pressure coming. Ooh. Hawley looking for the end zone into the back part, and that deflected away, and that'll do it.
Look, really impressive stand by the Orem defense. With 3 minutes left, West took over at about midfield, and Orem's defense held. I mean, that was a fantastic. It's 7-7. They're not going to go to halftime feeling fantastic about their offense, but they're going to feel great about their defense after that play.
West and Orem, we thought it'd be a great game. It is tied up at 7 at the break. You're watching KSL Rewind's coverage of the 5A state playoffs on KSL. Welcome back here to Orem High School, KSL Sports Rewind's game of the week. Orem and West. I thought it'd be high scoring, Jeff. At 7 apiece at the break.
Well, we don't got to talk about how we thought it would be close. We thought it'd be a close game.
We did think it'd be
right.
close. But I thought it'd be like 7-7 after 2 possessions.
Yeah, I didn't think this
Not
would be
2
the
quarters.
halftime score.
Return here for Orem, and a nice return there by Riker Mickelson, able to get this up to almost the 30. Be a good position here for Orem to start.
Yeah, big drive for the Orem offense. They just couldn't get their footing. They kept, they hit Iongi on a chunk play. Akana had a couple. But they just couldn't find any consistency in that first half. They have been a second-half team all season long. I mean, they have played very, very well in second halves this year.
But really, most of the time they've had deficits. They don't have a deficit. I shouldn't say most of the time. They've had plenty of games where they've had blowout wins, but they have really shined as the game goes on. They get stronger, but I don't know. This game has a little bit of a different feel to it here.
It does. The vibe feels a little bit different. I think this is a big statement-type drive for Orem, that if they can get their big dogs going. I mean, you look at what they do this year. You've got Iyangi with 125 yards per game on the ground, and then you've got Akana with 115 yards per game through the air. You got to get those two big dogs going in this one.
Really, both defenses have kept everything in front of them. Haven't had a lot of big plays tonight. As Orem looking to run here on second down, there's not a lot there. Get him maybe a yard.
Yeah, really important play here. It's going to be third down and a long 3 yards. What do? I think you go to Iyangi. I mean, he's been your guy all year.
Yeah, but this is where it's interesting for Orem. They line him up outside a lot. They do it again here. He's lined up to the top of the screen. They could bring him across in formation, they do. Little fake screen, and they're looking for Iyangi deep. He's got his man beat. That caught Iyangi inside the 20, inside the 10, and is he in? Waiting for a signal? No, but a flag back here at the 27.
I don't know what this flag is going to be. It was thrown after the catch. Oh, a sideline? Yeah, okay. Well, there he was. Not how I thought they would go to Iyangi, but they did. Man, he is special through the air. As a receiver, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
No.
He's really crisp route runner, and he creates so much space. He's just such a tough defend for anybody.
And I think it's one where if you're not prepared for him to go vertical, you're already beat.
Yeah.
Right? And that time, little flat-footed, right?
Yep.
Kind of waiting for him to come. And next thing you know, he's behind you. And it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
They'll try to sneak it in, and this is in. Touchdown, Orem, the first lead of the game for the Tigers.
Love that play call by this Orem coaching staff. They originally bring Kava in the shotgun. He lines up, takes the quick snap right under center. He's a big boy back there at quarterback. He's 6'4". He's every bit of 200 pounds. Love that play, little quarterback sneak into the end zone.
So the first lead of the game here for the Tigers, and much like the first touchdown, it was Iyangi that really spurred it. He does so again here. They're missing a player. Better hurry.
They're missing a player, and Akana's calling for the player to come in. Coach just threw him a ball. He had to kick it off the field.
Let's kick up, and that one is good. 14-7, your score. The Tigers taking their first lead on the first drive of this second half. Jeff, you talked about Orem's the second half team. That did not take long. 1 minute and 42 seconds off the clock for the Tigers to march 77 yards.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a big play offense all year long. We talked about getting their big dogs going, and they found Iyangi on that drive. He sets things up with the big play, and then Kava, he's a big dog in his own right at the quarterback spot, punches it into the end zone. Orem needed a statement drive. That was a statement.
See what answer, if any, the West Panthers have. Moved the ball a couple times tonight. It's just been as it's gotten deeper into Orem territory, things have tightened up, and they haven't been able to finish drives.
Yeah, it's really been penalties and first downs. If they can stay ahead of the chains, that offense is able to move really well. It seems like every time they've had, not even a negative play, but just not 5 yards on first down when they're playing at 2nd and 9, it seems like things have broken down for that West offense tonight.
West will start at their own 20 after the touchback on the kickoff.
Trailing for the first time.
Yeah. And they will stay on the ground here. Not much room for Sotelli. Really, that Orem D has done a pretty good job all night.
Yeah, on that one, it's Owen Penrod on the tackle, number 18. And that sets up this 2nd and 9 that I'm just talking about, that when West hasn't won first down, they haven't won second or third down either. Anxious to see what those halftime adjustments have been for this West offensive staff.
They'll throw near side. That ball caught. This is Hamilton.
Oh,
no,
dropped it.
incomplete. It's one he'd love to have back.
Yeah, I mean, Louis Hamilton, sure-handed receiver all year long. He would like to have that one back. And here we are, 3rd and 9. This is a tough situation to be in. Orem knows this is a passing situation. You bet that the heat is going to be coming. This is tough.
3rd and 8. Oh, how about the official with the little punt? Takes a nice little west bounce.
Get right into the lap of a coach. Well done.
Although they could have downed it right near the boundary. They missed it. Hawley going to tuck and run. He's got to get to the 30. Picks up a big block. And Hawley ahead. He's got the first down.
Really great recognition by Hawley. Orem did a great job in the secondary. All of his receiving options were covered up, but they did not account for the quarterback. He's able to make a play, make one defensive lineman just outrun him, and then he does the rest, picks up a first down, and moves the chains.
For West, it kind of feels like they just got to find their rhythm again. When they're in rhythm, this offense has been good. Here's Sotele, looking right side, has 3.
Yeah, and that's progress, right? I mean, this is, call it a gain of 4 on that play. This is, I think, right where they need to be in that 2nd and medium. When they're able to stay ahead, stay on pace, that West offense looks a whole lot better.
Everybody up near the line of scrimmage for Orem. As they will run. Sotele brought down there by Oppo, but he'll pick up another 3, and it'll be 3rd and short.
And they're really trying to get Sotele going. I mean, this is the first time I think we've seen it since Lopati has went down with an injury that it feels like they really miss him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's not because Hawley's not playing well. He's playing well, but I think they miss Hawley at wide receiver, and they miss Lopati able to spread things out.
They will run Hawley. Right side, he's got a good lane across the 50 in between a pair of Tigers, but he's got the first down. And I think to your point, Jeff, they miss the precision.
Yeah.
Right? Like he can throw the football, he can throw guys open, but he needs some room to do it. They miss the precision of a guy who's trained as a quarterback his whole young life, right?
I mean, Lopati's one of the best quarterbacks in the state, just a sophomore, but he's been phenomenal. And you miss that. Anybody would.
Yeah. First down. Hawley. Quick little out route there, Chawala. And that's where, for me, it's like, just get him some confidence. Help him get back in the field. They haven't thrown it a ton tonight, but a play like that can just help give you a little bit of, we're good.
Yeah, and it takes some of the pressure off of Sotele in that run game as well. Those quick passes that gain those 3-4 yards, they're there. I think that they are there all night long. Jackson Chawala's great in that comeback route. He's done it 3 or 4 times tonight.
2nd down. So Tele up the middle. Gets met right near the line of scrimmage. The yards after contact tonight for West have been impressive.
Yeah, they have. That was, I believe that was Penrod again coming in from the linebacker spot, number 18. He hit Sotele head on at the line of scrimmage. But Sotele falls forward, still gains 3.
Another 3rd and short here. Showing pressure from the edge. They bring it. That deflected and picked off. Intercepted. And going the other way. They will not. Oh, they will catch him. I thought he was gone, but it was the guy you just talked about, Penrod, with the interception off the deflection, and Orem has it inside the 20 of West.
Really impressive concentration from Penrod off the deflection. Comes down with the ball. There is a flag late. I think it's going to be a sideline call here on Orem. But huge interception, changing momentum. That's what Orem has done in the second half all year long. Excuse me, number 19. Not Penrod, but Ilaoa on the interception.
Inside the 15-yard line.
Sideline warning. Orem, that's their second. 5-yard penalty. 5 yards from the end of the run. First down.
You could hear the penalty there, the sideline warning. So, I thought it was 18, but 19. Ilaoa, the freshman, credited with the interception.
Does it count as a sideline warning
not
if
gonna
you
lie.
are penalized?
Everyone's congratulating Penrod. I'm holding firm.
I think you're
I'm
right.
saying Penrod.
Yeah, the PA led us astray. Kindly. They kindly led us astray.
We're all doing our best.
Yeah.
First down. And this is where that West defense needs to stop. Orem can really turn games into landslides quickly. As they'll go on the run here, not much there.
Yeah, if I'm Orem, I'd be really tempted to just look for that home run right here on second down.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't.
I
Jump
am
ball
too.
to Akana and just be like, hey, go finish this right now.
You've got Akana, you've got Wesley. You got a ton of options.
1 yard on the play.
We've talked about Bet Coy. They do have so many options. You have the headline guys, but, man, there's a lot of guys that fill out that article.
Although Akana not on the field right now.
Probably warming up for the PAT or the field goal. That caught. It's Jackson Sanders, the senior. Going to be close to a first down, but just shy as he's got it down. No, they give him the first down. He did get it to the 17.
Jackson Sanders.
To the 12, sorry.
That's good for a Tiger.
Jackson Sanders, kind of an unsung hero on this team. He's had some big catches this year. Akana, Yangi, Wesley, they get a lot of those headlines, but Jackson Sanders has been nails for Orem all season long.
Akana's on the field here. So many guys go both ways for Orem. Some of
Yeah.
it's just management, right?
Got to take a breather.
First and 10. With the ground game, Iongi trying to bounce off, and Panther D able to bring him down for a big loss on the play.
I mean, we have to give credit to the West defense there. It is a loss of 5 yards, but that was the most impressive loss of 5 that I've seen. The way that Iongi just spins out of those tackles. He's tough. Great job by the West defense to not let him get loose when it looked like he was down once
And
already.
really, it's the push by that defensive line, right?
Yeah,
You had a
huge.
lineman who gets pushed back 3 yards. Iongi runs right into it. There's nowhere to go
Yeah.
at that point. Second and, we'll say 14, maybe closer to 15. It's long, either way you look at it. Little play action, look in end zone. That ball overthrown, intended for Wesley. Contact there by the DB on the outside, legal, really threw off the timing.
Yeah, it did. It looked like that one was just a little bit. Guys on a little bit of a different page, different paragraphs of the same page. Good credit to that West defense.
So here a third and long, and this would be a big stop for West.
In these situations, they've gone to Iongi in the pass game, try to get him in motion, get him lined up against a linebacker.
He and Akana both to the top. Kaava looking, has Akana wide open. That caught, turning upfield. Did he get in? Touchdown, Orem.
Kawe Akana, we feel like he's been there. He's been close all night long. There he is. Taden Kava finds him. Great job by Kava, extending that play, letting his receiver get open, and Akana does the rest. You're right. He just needed a breather. He goes both ways, Travis Hunter style, but I don't see Travis Hunter kicking the PAT after he scores a touchdown.
That's a great call. Maybe you should write Dion about that.
Yeah, Coach Prime, make him
Yeah,
kick.
my bad, Coach Prime. Sorry, I don't
Yeah,
want to
let's-
get on his bad side. This kick up, and it is good. 21-7 as Orem converts off of the interception of Owen Penrod, and the largest lead of the game now held by the Tigers. 21-7 Orem, and now 21 unanswered for the Tigers.
Yeah. Although the AP, the Associated Press, and their style guide, Dane, apparently we're no longer supposed to say 21 unanswered. I
Why
don't
is
know
that?
why, but they clarified unnecessarily that that's not the appropriate way to refer to 21 straight points, which is crazy to me.
Well, because I would make the argument it's actually better than, well, yeah.
I think it's weird. I think the AP is wrong, but, just letting you know. You could choose to ignore the style guide. I do.
Look, there's very little I do that the AP would be like, you know what? He's spot on that.
Officials brought the ball at the 29-yard
We'll
line.
add it to a long list of things that will prohibit me from being ever employed with the
Yeah.
the AP.
You and me both.
So 5 to go in the third quarter. Run from Sotele. Nice run, picks up 7.
So Taylor, just such a physical runner. Every single time he gets the ball, he gets those legs going. When he's able to get a full head of steam, he's really tough to bring down. But even if he gets hit, he just keeps going
Second down.
through contact.
It's been that way all night. Little screen, that one, was that intercepted? Oh, nearly. Boy, that's a heck of a break on the ball by Iongi and nearly cleaned up.
Man, Iongi, the cornerback, making plays. That is something that I don't think he gets enough credit for, that he never comes off the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would never know.
No.
Because his speed never dips, his endurance never dips. Like, it's another third down for West, and this one's in trouble. So Tele brought down behind the line of scrimmage as a, I don't know, pack of tigers. I don't know if that's the right one or not, but they be hunting right now, and A.J. Snow leading the way.
Yeah, what do you call that? A swarm?
Hey,
A
I
gaggle?
ask the questions here, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You're
I don't
right.
know. I don't know. We've got a fan listening. Let's see if they can look that up for us. What is multiple tigers on the hunt?
West going to go for it.
Wow. 4th and 7 here. Play clock down to 5. Down to 2. Holly just getting it off. Pressure coming. Gets it away. That's caught. First down for West, and it's Chachi Pan across midfield. Big reception for the Panthers, but a flag back near the, or in the backfield, and Orem Akana, I think, was saying that he got held.
I think he may have. Man, Akana was coming off the edge fast. Really impressed with the way that Holly stood in there and delivered a dart.
Foul, targeting. Number 50.
Oh, wow.
First down.
Never mind, a targeting penalty
Wow.
will tack on extra yardage.
Turns a big play into a huge play for West. Man, what a dart by Holly. He stood in there and he took a pop from Akana off the edge. And that was the first time we've been able to call Chachi Pan's name tonight. Chachi Pan has been fantastic for West for multiple years. Big play there.
Well, remember, that's 4th and 7 on your own end.
Yeah.
Turns into a big play, like 40 yards. Here's Sotele. He's got room. Inside the 10, Sotele, touchdown West.
Wow. Momentum changing plays. It's Chachi Pan setting it up, a penalty, and then Sotele does the rest. He's just a physical runner. There, once he got 10, 15 yards downfield, there was nobody that was going to bring him down. Really impressive run. Really impressive quick response. 4th and 7. Looks like that drive is dead. And then boom, 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 West is in the end zone.
It looks like the game may be dead,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you go from giving Orem the ball at the 30-yard line to being in the end zone in 2 plays. And we got ourselves a contest again. Point after try here for the Panthers. As this kick, good pressure around the edge, and it's off the post. Mickelson was coming around the edge. The point after is no good, and it's 21-13.
Wow. Yeah, we'll wonder if that PAT will come back in this one, but I'm in awe at how quick that happened for West. 2 big plays and a penalty, and all of a sudden they're right back in this game. I'm with you, Dan. It felt like, holy cow, Orem's going to take over on their side of the field, another short field, a quick score, and it would have been 28-7.
Yeah.
Now it's a 1-score game again.
Well, and we talked about it felt like West really didn't have any chunk plays in this one, and the next thing you know, boom, boom, they're in the end zone. They go 70 yards in 2 plays. So see if they can keep that up.
We have an answer
Oh, man. I knew it.
from
Awesome.
a different source
Okay.
this time. It's called an ambush of tigers.
An ambush.
Yeah,
I like that,
We need more
actually.
ambushes of animals, I think.
Hey, you know what? We appreciate those helping us out here on this is great.
This is great. Interactive broadcasting. We're blazing a new trail
That's right.
with animals.
Low kick. This fielded back near the 5. Mickelson brought down. Good sure stop there by Fahoko Satini, the junior.
Yeah, great tackle, 29, Foco Satini. Just great pursuit, stayed in his lane. Didn't let Mickelson get around him.
Mickelson tripped up at the 24-yard line. Will be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
So the Tigers starting at their own 24. Reminder, the winner of this advances to take on the Timview T-Birds. That one final.
Timview looked good tonight.
According to this box score, they looked really good
Yeah,
tonight.
they looked really good. That offense was humming.
First down. This is Iongi trying to get around the edge. Boy, you see his quickness. I mean, he looks like he's going to turn that upfield, and then, nope, I'll just go around and pick up another 8 yards.
Yeah, his understanding of how to set a defender up, he's so good. He looks like he's going to go upfield. He bebops around. I just said bebops. That's how good he was. It's not a word I say very often, bebops. I don't feel great about that.
Bop it, flick it. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They make them small now. Minis.
do they?
Yeah, it's almost like a one-hander. It's weird.
Sounds like a great way to get a hand cramp. 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. They'll go back to Iongi. Again, stretch near side. Following his offensive line, Iongi able to surge ahead for a gain of 8.
Oh, he's just so disciplined as a runner. The patience on that play. Stays behind his blocker, picks up 8 yards.
This is the second Orem game I've called, and in both of them, it's like, yeah, they line him up outside, and I'm just like, why don't you run him? Why don't you run him? And then second half of the third quarter and fourth, it's like, no, now we run him. And it's genius because, like, the whole defense is tired, and now you come with your speed of the guy who never dips in his agility.
Oh,
and it's just like, and now you've got a real problem on your hands if you're the defense.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that play out here. 2nd and 2. Iongi, second time he's bounced off. This time he'll turn it up. We'll pick up a yard.
And
There's an impressive yard.
There's that balance once again. Takes a big hit in the backfield, and he's able to just stay on his feet and keep going. It's really impressive.
So 1 yard short.
Be 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 for the Tigers.
A short one.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of really tempted to go play action and try something deep here, but I don't think that's what Orem will do. This is why I'm not a coach. Gava coming up, going to try to sneak it. He's met, but I think he's got it. Yeah, he's across the 45. That's all he needed. First down, Orem.
Yeah, second time we've seen that tonight. First time it was for a touchdown. They line Kava up in the shotgun, and then he quickly comes up, takes a quick snap under center, and gets that yard.
Approaching the final 90 seconds of our third quarter.
A little slower, a little more methodical. Coach Reynolds and the Orem offense. Play clock down to 5.
Yeah, got to hurry here. And just get it off in time. Boy, he had a man deep, but flushed out of the pocket. Able to find Wesley. That's a first down. Is how about Kai Wesley with a nice grab for Orem.
Yeah, great catch by Wesley. Good route to get open. But it's Taden Kava who impresses me there, senses that pressure, feels it. He evades it well, then makes a throw on the run against his body, puts it right where it needs to go for Wesley to pick up the first down.
And that was a freshman Savory who was putting the pressure on.
9 yard line.
And probably fortunate, Matt Christensen was on the near side, at least I think it was 15, and he had that defender beat.
Yeah, he had a lot of grass in front of him.
On first down, Orem, little keeper here. Kaava. And this one going to be coming back. That ball's loose. And West has it. West has it. The West defense gets the turnover inside of a minute left as we will wait for this flag, but I think this is on Orem.
Yeah, looks like this is going to be a hold that obviously West will decline.
Covered by the Panthers, number 92, Elijah McKinney.
Number 1 on the offense. Penalties decline. First down.
Man, just a huge momentum changer. Kava did a great job on that play to get out of the pressure on the read option play. He keeps it. He's getting downfield. He hurdled a guy. He makes a little bit of a hurdle. Then the big hit comes. Great job by West.
He was frustrated coming off, and I can understand that. You're moving the ball. You have a chance to go back up 2 possession. And a turnover. Important to clear the mechanism. Get that out of your mind. Get refocused. A lot of football game left here. Let's see what West can do.
Billy Chappell's proud of that.
Hey, you like
right
that?
there. Well done.
I use that phrase all the time. I love it. West running, and so Tele showing he's got agility in this one too. Boy, in that one, yeah, there is a big hit on that Orem defender. We're going to have a injury timeout here. We're going to step aside. So Tele with a big run there on first down. Come back. It was Melosi Ilaoa, the freshman, who was the injured Orem player, was able to get up, walk off. It was a great sight to see. That was brutal hit, and he doesn't care. But penalty there on the play as well will help West give them an additional 15 yards.
Scary play. Good to see Elo get up, get off the field on his own. Yeah, really scary play.
Very scary play. That was one where, Jeff, we were talking, and we were immediately fearful for the worst.
Yeah.
Good to just see him up and okay. 48 seconds to go here in the third. And that's a first down for West. And now we've got penalty flags in on this play.
False start. 55 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Sets up a 1st and 15 for West. Not where they want to be.
They had a few penalty situations in the first half that really kind of stymied their effectiveness. It had been a clean third quarter.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can overcome this one. Motion this kept. Nice run there by Hawley. Able to pick up the penalty yardage and more.
Yeah, really nice run by Hawley.
But another flag here.
Oh, my goodness. They're coming back, aren't they?
They are.
Well, there were only 50 seconds in the quarter. But like a basketball game, sometimes 50 seconds can take 20 minutes.
But you know the difference is we're not spending 5 minutes reviewing, the intricacies of did that hit the fingernail or did it not?
That's true. If we look at the rotation of the ball,
if we slow it down
ever
enough.
so slightly.
Yeah. NBA's kind of lost me. Blindside block, the call there. So that great run of 12 yards going to come off the board. And now you've got 1st and 29? No, 31. Nope. Dane can't do math. It's a Friday.
It's Idaho.
10, 26.
Idaho math.
1st and 26.
There we go. See, I was just waiting for the scoreboard. Let somebody else do the math for me.
Yeah, I've got a tough scoreboard angle where
That's
I'm
true.
at. So
That is true.
1st and 26. Hawley going to try to run, and we'll get back to the line, maybe a yard or 2. That'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, just really a no-win situation here for West. Now you got 2nd and 24. There's no good play call.
They'll have some time to think about 2nd and 24. Third quarter complete, 21-13 Orem as the 4th quarter of this second round of the 5A playoffs coming up after this. 4th quarter, 2nd and a quarter of the field to go here for the Panthers. Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen with you. Been a great ball game. West getting this possession off the turnover, trying to convert. Little screen set up for Pan, And that is read well by this Orem D. Not a lot of room to go.
Yeah, really well done by Orem. I mean, when it's 2nd and 23, 24, whatever it was, just don't let them get behind you. Don't let them get the big play. You can give them 7 yards, and it's still 3rd and eternity.
They've got to get to the Orem 34 for the first down. And you've got to think they got to get inside the 45, maybe the 40, even consider a 4th down try. Don't you think?
If I learned anything from NFL Blitz, I think you call da bomb here and
The
just
bomb?
throw it
What
deep.
it is?
Yeah,
Well, if I learned anything from Tecmo Bowl, just give it to Bo Jackson.
there you go.
3rd and long. Pressure coming. Hawley stepping up, running out of time. I don't know how he escaped that. Hawley's still on his feet. He's going the wrong way. Hawley. Oh, he's got a man. That's caught by Pan. First down and more. Chachi inside the 20. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how in the world West converted that play.
Wow. Isaiah Hawley, he gets out of 2 different AJ Snow sacks, extends the play. Great job by the offensive line to not leak downfield. Chachi Pan finds a way to get open, and Hawley finds him, and there it is, the 3rd and 20 whatever conversion.
I think we found a play for that, Jeff. It's like, hey, quarterback, just run around for 10 seconds, and they'll go back to the ground. So Tele able to turn upfield, gaining 2, maybe 3.
This is a lot like how how West scored on their last touchdown drive. Found Chachi Pan for a big pass play, and then just let Sotele get going in the run game. Well, Orem's kind of maybe licking their wounds a little bit after giving up that big play.
And we've got a flag here. Officials conversing. This came from the far sideline. The far side judge? Line judge? I don't know. I feel like there's like 15 terms.
I don't know, yeah. I think we should make up our own. The sideline
What do you want? The sideline guy. Yeah. Awesome. From the far sideline guy.
Flows off the tongue well, I think.
Very well. Very descriptive, too. Very clear.
Everybody knows it's the guy on the sideline.
And did not have a flag, but there is a quick conversation on that far side, so not quite certain what that was about, but no flag, so it'll be 2nd and 7 here. Meanwhile, for those interested, I know there's a 5A game, but there's some interesting stuff in 6A right now. Riverton giving Skyridge a game. This is 21-17, Skyridge leading 4th quarter, but Riverton has the ball. Back to 5A, and it's coming near side. And that is Vailahi able to get this inside the 20 to the 18.
That's complete to Lava Vailahi.
I believe that was Sudweeks on the tackle for Orem. Did a great job of coming down and meeting and wrapping up his guy, stopping that play dead in its tracks.
3rd and a long 3, or some like to call it 3rd and 4. Hawley. Looking corner of the end zone for Pan, and that is, did he catch that? He did! Touchdown West!
Wow! Chachi Pan with maybe the catch of the night. I don't know how that ball wasn't intercepted. The concentration from Pan to just wait. All those defenders, that was a ball into triple coverage. 3 Orem Tigers there, and somehow at the bottom of it all, it's Pan who comes up with it. And West now a 2-point conversion away from this being a tie game in the 4th quarter.
2 plays that are unreal, and they're both to Chachi Pan.
Yeah, holy cow.
I don't know how he came up with that touchdown either. I thought it was going to be picked.
Yeah, that was fantastic. The concentration was absolutely fantastic.
In fact, the Orem defender stood up like, how? How did that happen? And West has to take a timeout here. Play clock inside of 5.
Orem.
Oh, Orem called it?
I think so.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Interesting, because, play clock was running down. I thought for sure when the refs came running in, that was a West timeout.
Quick timeout, important 2-point conversion coming up when we come back. Coming out of the timeout, 2-point conversion for West to tie this ball game. Hawley not in the backfield. Sotele going to run this. There was a penalty flag on the play. This will not count. I bet you're going to get a disconcerting signal is my guess.
Yeah, I think you might. Maybe an illegal shift or something of that nature.
They do call the 2-point conversion good.
But there's a penalty flag on the field.
So it is an illegal shift, and that missed PAT now really
Yeah, that's
coming
big.
back to bite here because now you're at the 8-yard line and you're trying to go for 2.
See, and I thought I saw 2 claps in the backfield. That's why I said disconcerting.
Yeah.
But instead the shift,
I think they could have called either one and probably been right. And I'm not one to really ever let refs know that they were right, but I think they could have called either one and been right.
I'll text an official after and let him know. Jeff agreed.
Yeah, let him know.
Jeff agreed. So now they got to try for 2 from the 7. From the 8, sorry. Hawley looking. Going to step up. Hawley got to get to the end zone, turning inside, spinning. Oh, and he has stood up. Stood up right at the goal line by that Orem defense. Not the first time we've seen them cover ground quickly, Jeff.
Yeah, really, really well done. There was a whole, what did we learn? A whole ambush of Tigers there at the goal line. But it's Mickelson who probably gets credit for the big pop, keeping Hawley out. Well, that's a big play and a big stand for that Orem defense.
Huge stand for that Orem D. So the West D will have more work to go. 21-19, Orem with the lead here, 9:45 to go. Look, people like the question so much. This isn't so much a question. It's more of a fun fact.
Okay.
You okay with a fun fact?
I like fun facts.
These two schools have been around a long time.
Yes?
My research, I can only go back to 1950.
That's
right?
all?
You got to draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
These two teams have only played twice since 1950.
Really?
Jeff. Isn't that surprising?
That is a little surprising.
West has won both of them. Both games were in the playoffs. They were both quarterfinal playoff games.
Were they both in the 50s?
No, 81 and 84 actually.
Interesting.
And West won them both.
A lot of
One
things
by
happened.
a final spread of 17, the other by a spread of 18. So
A lot of crazy things happened in 1984 that are starting to happen again, Dane. We don't have to talk about it. That's for a Saturday show that I like to be the host of. But hey, it was a great year then. It could be a great year again.
there were many people in the state who loved that year, and there are some people who don't like that year.
Yeah, but those ones don't matter as much. Respectfully. Respectfully.
I don't
This
know how-
isn't the Saturday show, Jeff. Come on, get in line.
Oh, man. I don't know how that could be interpreted any way other than respectfully,
Yeah,
frankly.
I think you're
but
right.
Good return there from Mickelson. Orem will start at their own 40.
Yeah, let's get back to this game.
Yeah,
get me back
do
on
that.
track.
Of course, a lot of look,
mean-
the people listening to this from where this game is played agree, and the people listening to this from where the visitors are from, they're not big fans right now.
No, that's true. That's all fair, but I apologize to nobody.
First down here for Orem. They'll play action. They'll swing this out. Iongi makes Pan miss. Well, that's an athletic move and able to pick up 8 yards. It's what he does. And sorry, that was that was Chachi.
Yeah, that was. I thought West played that play incredibly well. They had that strung out, but it's Iongi who makes a play, just does what he does.
And we've got an injured player here for West. So we'll step aside here. Injury timeout. That was Chachi Pan, the injured Tiger on the play, able to walk off under his own strength. Good to see, but that's a big player to be heading to the sideline here for West.
Yeah, both of these second-half touchdowns for West have been set up or caught by Chachi Pan. Hopefully he's able to get back on the field.
2nd and 2 here for Orem. West showing pressure. Mickelson with the carry. That's a big tailback, and Riker takes us across midfield, first down.
Yeah, that was it won't go noticed, but that quarterback running back exchange, Mickelson had to wrangle that ball in down and around his thighs and his knees. Really good job by Mickelson to hold on to that and pick up the first down.
We've got whistles here. Oh, we've got another player
Another
down.
guy down.
Maybe a cramp.
I don't know. That was one of those scary non-contact. He just went down.
We'll step aside again. Another injury here for West. Welcome back. Engelau was the injured West player. He was able to get up and get off the field. First down here for Orem. Inside of 9 to go. They'll go on the ground. Iongi Able to pick up 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, really interested to see how Orem plays this. They're an aggressive team by nature. They
about
like to go tempo.
Yeah, Orem with the tempo here. I'm kind of surprised. Kava looking, has Iongi, and Iongi bounces off the tackler and takes it to the house. Touchdown, Orem.
Wow, there's that Faletti Iongi balance once again. Takes that little wheel route. Kava delivers a really nice ball. But once again, Iongi able to just withstand that contact, keep his feet, keep up his top speed, and get into the end zone. Huge play.
Now, I want to make a statement. I don't want people to get mad at me. There was a day not that long ago when that ball gets knocked incomplete because safeties could fly around and just clean players out. You see how the game changes with some of the rule changes, and I agree, right?
Yeah,
Not interested in knocking players out left and right. But that's when we're 10 years ago, that play is defended very differently in today's game. The speed and agility of an Iongi, you're able to bounce off the contact and then take it to the house. And it's just the way in which the game has changed over the years.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad,
Yeah.
right? But you just see how it has morphed and the impact that makes.
Yep, it is. It's a different sport with those rules, and I think that's what it has to be.
And I'm for it. I want to make really clear. Player safety is really important. These players have lives when they're done, right? Like you want to make sure they have a life. But that's one where you kind of see like that defender gets caught in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
Point after is up, and this one is good. So the lead back to 2 possessions for Orem, 28-19. The Tigers take a 9-point lead here in the 4th. Orem set to kick off, 8.5 to go. West has work to do.
It's a big PAT. We saw missed PAT playing, certainly having an influence in how this game was called, what had to happen. That was a big PAT by Akana to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah. This kickoff will be fielded by Pan, back at his own 2. Looking for a lane up the middle, across the 20 to the 23.
Good to see Pan back on the field after being shaken up a little bit earlier.
2-possession game here. How aggressive do you feel like West has to be in this scenario?
I think you have to be. With the way that Orem can run the ball with a combination of Mickelson or Iongi or whoever it is, I think you got to try to score quick.
Start at their own 23. They'll run it. Hawley looking left side. And he's ahead for a gain of about 6.
Oh, he's been good with his legs out of the backfield, hasn't he? We knew he would be. I mean, he's so good after the catch as a receiver, but he's been impressive.
7 yards on the play.
Sotele straight ahead, bounces off one tackler. Nice run there by Sotele, first down.
It's good balance. It's a different kind of balance. Iongi absorbs that contact and bounces off. Sotele invites that contact and initiates it and just bulldozes through people. He is a really impressive runner. It makes sense why he has 170 yards per game on the ground.
Iongi's got to come off here, I think, for an equipment issue. So Orem has to make a sub. Do you attack right here where Iongi is not?
Well, the Orem adjustment's interesting. They move Akana, who's played mostly off the edge in that linebacker spot, move him back to safety with Iongi out.
Hawley running out of time, and it is snowing here in Orem.
Oof. A.J. Snow, he has been close multiple times. We talked about his 41, astonishingly high number. 41 quarterback hurries. He gets home there. That's not a hurry. That's a sack. It's a big play by Snow.
Fitting that the student section brought out their ski gear, given the night that Snow has had.
Yeah,
right?
for him, probably.
Well, if it wasn't, it is now. Here's Sotele with a run up the middle, gets to the 45, and a late flag coming in here. That'll stop the clock with 7:08 to go.
I don't know what that call's going to be. That's in the range of like at the tackle.
Yeah.
Personal foul, face mask,
Yeah.
number 2. 15 yards at the end of the run. First down.
There have been a number of 15-yard penalties in this one.
Yeah, a lot of chunk penalties. And those are drive changers.
It's certainly helping the Panthers here in this fourth quarter.
And maybe that's how a Panther can beat a Tiger in real life, is if there's some sort of chunk penalty.
Is there a nature official that would come and be like, whoa, 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 Tiger?
I think that's the Lion.
This is Holly on the called run, and he's got 10 and first down. I think, yeah, first down West.
Yeah, and West wants to go fast. They're going to try to get tempo going.
Like Ricky Bobby.
First and 10 from the 30.
They're moving the football. This drive started back at the 23, 24. They'll stay on the ground. So Tele ahead, gain of 4, maybe 5.
Man, I think he got hit at the line of scrimmage and still managed to gain 5 yards. So Tele just aggressive running all night long.
Young man coming in was averaging 10 yards a carry.
Oof.
And you see why.
Yeah, he is a load to bring down. Good size, listed at 6'1".
Edge pressure. Holly running away from it and is brought down. That's a nice pursuit there by Vea. It will limit the gain.
Yeah, Zeki Vea, he was also dinged up earlier. Good to see him back on the field. And he laid down a hit. His pursuit from that linebacker spot, he read the play well, and he came in with a full head of steam.
3rd and 6 here for West. No doubt 4-down territory. Holly, that ball's out, caught. This is Vailahi making a man miss, making 2 men miss up to the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for West.
Look at Vailahi with the shimmy and the jukes. Nobody could bring him down.
And just like that, 1st and goal.
That's completed love by Vailahi. That's good for a
And this drive is taking about 3 minutes. Pretty impressed, actually, with how they've been able to eat away at this yards and not taking a lot of time.
Yeah, they've done really well, and they've got Orem a little bit on their heels. Orem going to have to take a timeout, regroup.
Yeah, timeout, Orem. We'll be back 1st and goal for West after this. Only one timeout left for Orem. This is kept. Holly straight into the end zone. Touchdown, West. That was easy.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for West. A quick score. Man, Isaiah Holly, he has been good out of the backfield as a runner. Dangerous.
3rd touchdown tonight for Holly, 2 of them rushing. And this one makes it back 1 possession. And if you're West, looking like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion here.
Interesting.
Well, if you don't have confidence in your kicker. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised by this.
Make it a 1-point game. Take Holly off the field again.
Designed run. And Soteli takes it in. 2-point conversion is good. It's 28-27 Orem.
Hey, it always looks smart. It's always the right call when you make it. So well done, West. Sotele runs so hard, it makes sense. Not too many teams can stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
5:15 left, 28-27. All 3 timeouts left for West. Only 1 left for Orem. If you're Orem, you got to figure, Orem's probably going to try to run the football pretty heavy here, right?
You would think so, yeah, but it does feel, I don't know, it feels like Orem has been best tonight when they put the ball in the air. Yongi's had a big game, but he's had a big game as a receiver. I don't know. It's a tricky one because I think ideally, yes, this Orem staff, they'd love to run the ball and start to play that 4 or 5 minute offense. But when you go with what's worked, the West defensive line has played really well.
This Orem team, they're 8-2 on the year. They had a first-round bye. They've only scored less than 30 points twice. Against Farmington, had to come from behind in that one. They're down 19-3. They won that game 24-19. and in their Week 10 loss against Timpview, lost 35-21. Those were the only 2 games where they scored less than 30 points offensively. This West defense really has done a nice job tonight. But does the defense have one more stop for the Panthers as they kick off? And this one returnable. Mickelson from inside his own 10. Looking up the middle. Nope. I'm going to try to get outside. Makes a man miss. Mickelson turning back in. Nice return as Orem will have it at the 42.
Great return by Mickelson, exactly what Orem needs. They get positive field possession here. 5:08 left on the clock. At minimum, you want to see a couple of first downs, 2-3 minutes off the clock. And obviously, you want points. But move the chains 2 times, and you're starting to feel pretty good if you're an Orem fan. Not great, but pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. The reality is this game is in the hands of Orem to win. Be very patient. See if they elect to be. First down. This drive starting at the 42. They'll go on the ground. And Iongi trying to stretch outside, met. But you see him push ahead for a gain of 3.
See, in that West defense, they've done it well all night long. Those stretch runs, those jet sweeps, anytime Orem tries to get to the outside, West has pursued it really, really well. They have been disciplined, and they string those runs out. And Iongi runs for a lot of yards on that play, but he only gains 3.
And West electing to take their first time out. We talk about how well this West defense has played tonight, limiting this Orem offense. West has not given up more than 30 points in 5 straight games.
Wow.
So,
are you surprised they're taking their timeouts now?
I was curious. I'm sure there's probably something.
Some analytics or something?
I don't even know about analytics, but I'm sure it's one of those where it's like, look, if we feel like there's a schedule that's favorable to us, let's take them now. But if they get 8 yards on a first down, don't worry about it, right? But if you can limit them 3 or less, then you could get in a 4th and 1 scenario where you're like, we can get the ball back. Don't know. I was kind of surprised, but
I'm a little surprised. I mean, there's still 4:59, almost 5 full minutes left in this game. I'm a little surprised. But, like we said, if it works, it's always the right call.
Second down. But this is telling your defense, you guys, this is it. We got to get a stop here. It's set up for Akana. Makes a man miss. And Akana hops a man inside the 40. Driven out of bounds of the 31. And Akana with a huge second down reception.
Man, you got to see all of what makes Akana so special. And there's a late flag here. Kind of breaking tackles.
This is going to be an unsportsmanlike, so this will tack on another 15 yards.
Man, those 15-yard penalties, they've been a story tonight. Those chunk penalties are backbreakers.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct number 2 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. That's his first of the game.
And while we say we haven't had a lot of real chunk plays, boy, that feels like one because you have the 20-yard reception.
Yeah.
But then you tack on another 15, and now you're inside the red zone if you're Orem.
Yeah, and now you're wishing you had that timeout back.
Yeah. But there's enough time on the clock, even if you can get 2 timeouts, let one play go of 25 seconds, you're okay. But you got to limit them to a field goal if you're Western.
Got to keep them out of the end zone.
Ball's at the 16-yard line for Orem. And this run stood up. No, Iongi got out of it somehow. And that's the other math, Jeff, that now is making sense. If you're West and you give up the touchdown and you give up 7, it's an 8-point ball game.
Okay. And then
so still one possession. See, this is why Coach, Junior, Solovi, he's a lot smarter than I am. He's already thinking this, right? And anyway.
He is smarter than us. It doesn't take a lot.
Look, I got a 23 on my ACT.
Did you?
Not once, twice.
Ooh. Just to reiterate exactly how smart you are. Back to back.
All up there. We want to remind you, if you enjoy listening to Jeff and myself, there's probably 5 of you, you can catch Jeff and me talk about playoff recaps. We'll have questions. We'll have our 4 downs this week.
Yeah.
We won't do our top rankings because there's no point.
Doesn't really matter.
But we'll have playoff coverage all the way up. Semifinals will be on site for 4A, 5A, 6A, pregame, halftime, postgames.
That's a lot of Jeff and Dane.
And look, if that's not good enough, we'll bring others on too.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a party.
Feels great.
It's always it's a super fun.
It is
super
fun.
fun days.
It is fun.
Super fun days. And then we'll have championship coverage for you as well. And we'll have multiple streams next week as well for quarterfinal action across 4A, 5A, and 6A. Of course, you can catch all that right here on KSLSports.com. 2nd down and 6 here for Orem. 1 timeout left for West. Back to the ground, Eungi. That was not Eungi, that was Mickelson. We'll pick up 2, maybe 3, and West will use their final timeout.
Mickelson on the carry.
3rd down and 5 coming up after the Mickelson carry. This is a big down.
What do you do here if you're Orem? I mean, I think this is probably field goal safe range. Do you consider a field goal here, or are you like, no, man, we're going for broke? If West gets a stop.
Yeah, if West gets a stop, I think you have to consider a field goal. At least then make it a touchdown. You know, you can't get beat by a field goal at that point. So I think Orem would take the field goal in that scenario. I'm really curious, this 3rd down call.
What do you call?
It feels like you go to Eungi, but West has played the run really well. I think they put the ball in the air. You look for Akana, you look for Wesley. I think you've got more options, and then Kava has proven that he can extend plays and move with his legs as well. Give him those options.
I'm actually curious if you go screen here for Eungi. We'll see.
It's gonna
3rd
be
and 4.
direct.
Eungi in the backfield. Little play action. Dump off. Mickelson has the 1st down and more. Touchdown, Orem. Riker Mickelson with the 10-yard touchdown reception.
really nifty play design by this Orem coaching staff. They look like they're setting up a play going one way. Mickelson cuts out of his break. And he was all wide open after he pulls in that catch.
You know, Jeff, something not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
I have to kind of eat it a little bit because I made a little joke on Vince Francis where, you know, hooked him and reeled him in on a little joke. We were all hooked on that one, right? We're all thinking Eongi.
We were.
And, man, Coach Reynolds, he took all of us.
Yeah.
Great call on the play action. This kick up. This is good. It is 35-27, but still a one-possession game with that West offense ready to come back out. Crazy to think this game was 7 apiece at the break.
Yeah. All the points have come in the second half. It's crazy to think that this game could have been 28-7 when all of a sudden West comes up with a big play. Looks like everything is dead on 4th and forever.
This kick into the end zone, touchback.
Got his kick into the end zone for the touchback.
Their previous touchdown drive took 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So they got plenty of time to do it, went about the same distance, and they ran the football quite a bit on that drive.
Well, and this is where, West's timeout usage makes a ton of sense. They got 4.5 minutes. The whole playbook is still open. Yeah, you're out of timeouts, but you don't need them. You don't have anything that you're not allowed to go to here, and that's big when you don't have Lopati in at quarterback. You need that quarterback run game. That's when the offense has been best.
Well, clock stops on first downs and out of bounds. On first down, they will run it. So Tele, boy, he has been a big part of this offense, and you see him pull guys ahead, gain a 12 for a first down.
Yeah, that almost was a 2nd and 2, but Sotele would not be brought down, picks up the first down.
And Orem was in there trying to rake that ball out, trying to get a turnover to seal this one for the Tigers. First down, Same. Sotele, big hole up the middle again, and the same result, although a penalty flag here coming in near where the initial, well, the second or third hit was made.
I don't know what they're calling here.
Might be helmet to helmet.
Illegal helmet contact, 13 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, and there it is again. It's been a story all night long, that chunk penalty that takes a 11-yard run, and all of a sudden it's a 26-yard run.
Yeah, they're across the 50, and now you got all the time in the world if you're West.
That penalty moves the ball into Tiger territory at the 42-yard line, where the Panthers have a first and 10.
First down. They called this play early. It has worked all night. It's Hawley. He's got a chunk run. This is a gain of 10, another first down.
And that is 3 straight runs that have gone for first downs on 1st and 10. They are averaging better than 10 yards per carry on this drive with a chunk penalty in the middle of it all.
We talked about, this Orem offense and Iongi run against tired defense. Right now it looks like West there's run against a tired Orem defense. And, one that Holly would love to have back.
Man. Turf Monster jumps up and grabs him.
12th defender. And
they've been setting that up all night long.
And West,
I don't think he's kept, has he? I don't think I've
think
seen him
so.
pull it, and then he pulls it that one time.
And there's an injured Orem Tiger, so that will actually stop the clock. Fortunate off the 4-yard loss that this clock will stop here for West. Injury timeout will be back. Was the injured player for Orem. Going to be helped off here. He's had a good game, the linebacker. Will not be in on this 2nd and 14. Here's Sotele. How about Hawley leading on the run? Sotele with a 13-yard run. It'll be 2nd and 1. Actually, he can pick up the first.
I think they're going to give it to him, yeah. He's close.
They do. Give him a first down.
Another Panther first down.
Man, they are running with authority on this drive. That West offensive line is winning every play right now.
They go right back to it. Sotele left side, and even there's contact immediately, but he goes ahead for 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, it kind of tells the story of this drive, Dan, that gain of 6 felt like, just 6?
Yeah, that's the first run that hasn't gone for a first down.
Crazy. And what's really scary with this rushing success, if they do punch this into the end zone, you've got to stop them on a 2-point conversion. I don't know how that happens with the way Sotele's running the ball right now.
Well, and not only that, but you run the risk of giving the ball back to Orem with time.
Yeah.
You see West now slowing it down. This play clock down to 5, and this is a good decision here with how you're running the football. Sotele met at the line of scrimmage and able to slither out of the initial hands of Oppo and pick up 3.
Boy, Oppo, listed at 6'5", 340 pounds. He is a load in the middle. I mean, that's how you stop Sotele. You put the biggest person on the field on either side, stick him right in the middle and say, okay, run into my arms and get through me.
Inside of 2 to go. 3rd and 2 here for West. Hawley trying to get that edge and brought down. That is A.J. Snow coming in with the big tackle. No gain on the run.
A.J. Snow has been great. He gets into the backfield on almost every play. Comes up with maybe the biggest play of the night.
Orem 1 play away from sealing, advancing to the quarterfinals in the 5A state playoffs. 80 seconds to go. Orem bringing the pressure. Captain Hawley goes down. It's Akana coming up with the stop, and West turns it over on downs.
What a great play by Kawe Akana. He comes in off the edge, stays disciplined. Hawley pulls that read option. Akana stays with his guy, gets the tackle for the biggest play of the night.
of the turnover.
And what a job by that Orem D with how West was running the football. I mean, it looked like they were going to be able to just run right in.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't go to the air on 4th down. There were 9 Orem Tigers in the box.
I think the problem, though, is that can you protect against the pressure?
Yeah.
Right? If they're bringing 6, 7 guys.
It's tough. That wide receiver screen game we talked about, that is such a staple. You'd think that quick pass might have been there. And maybe with Lopati, who's been quarterback, understands that offense. Maybe they check into something like that.
Yeah.
But with the backup quarterback, it isn't there.
One more play here for Orem to kneel this out. We thought this would be a great game. It was a heck of a battle back and forth, but the Orem D gets the game-winning stop. And they'll head back to take on Timpview.
Big stop. Really impressed with the Orem defense. We've talked about the Orem offense all year long, but the Orem defense stepped up and won this game. They made big plays when they needed to, really controlled the first half. Very, very impressive. And you're right, it sets up that rematch with Timpview. These two teams, they know each other pretty well, Timpview and Orem. Usually, when they're meeting in November, it's at Rice-Eccles Stadium, but no, not this year.
This one will be at Timpview. Jeff, give us your thoughts of a selection of the player of the game.
Ooh, it's tough. There's a few guys that it could go to. I think you have to look at Faleti Iangi. Whenever Orem needed a big play, he made it. I think I go Iangi, but you could convince me that maybe Taden Kava protected the football all game long. He did what he needed to do. Kawe Akana came up with big plays, but Iangi made maybe one more big play than anybody else.
The trio was big tonight for Orem. Mickelson had a great game on both sides, too. Kind of I don't want to say a quiet night. He had a touchdown, but he's not one of the headline guys. But, man, he made impacts on both sides of the ball for Orem. Team effort gets the win. The Tigers advance 35-27 over the West Panthers. Want to remind you, we've got more playoff games coming up next week, 4A, 5A, 6A. You can catch live quarterfinal action across the major classifications right here on KSLSports.com. For Tino Psyche, Jeff Hansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week as playoffs continue live on KSLSports.com. Good night, everybody.